live stream. I was chatting with some others on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, feel free to join. Follow us on TikTok. We always go live a few minutes before we head over to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I got to make sure the sound's working. I remember that wasn't working for the first few minutes last stream. So I'm going to put on my headphones. You might hear an echo here, but I just want to make sure the sound's working. It's always no fun when you go back to listen to the stream and the sound wasn't working for the first couple minutes, first few seconds. Let's see. But every week we go live from the store, talk about updates in the store. We also talk about some games we've been playing. We are live. We got the sound going. We're good. And then we talk about one specific topic for the day. Today we're going to talk about GenCon. GenCon's happening this weekend. GenCon is a huge tabletop gaming convention. I know we have a couple customers of our store that are at GenCon this weekend. I know a lot of online content creators are at GenCon this weekend. A lot of board game publishers, designers, anyone really who is in the tabletop gaming industry tries to attend GenCon every year. It's a big, I guess, like consumer facing convention. So it's very big for like board game or tabletop customers, buyers, and also there's a little bit of the industry side too, but not as much as some other ones like Gamma, which is very industry focused. We're going to talk about that today. I want to share some videos that I was watching this week on YouTube. But first, some updates. So I always share updates with our store. Yesterday, because it's Friday, so every Thursday is yesterday, the day before, we had D&D night. So we do D&D every Thursday night. We have 3 campaigns going. They're pretty consistent to where we have kind of the same group of people coming in to play the campaigns, but we do have some drop-ins here and there. I have a campaign that's had a few groups, a couple groups come and go. Some have joined other campaigns. I usually run a campaign with, like, if any younger players come in, I tend to take them, just because I know younger players have a very different experience playing D&D versus older players. So we want to make sure we're kind of getting players into groups for the experience they want to enjoy with D&D. So, but I had a lot of fun yesterday. We're doing the Essentials Kit. So if you're familiar with D&D, the Essentials Kit is one particular adventure. The adventure takes place in a town of Phandalin. However, my group ventured way away from the town, and they ended up in Neverwinter. If you're familiar with the D&D lore, you might know Neverwinter, a big city on the Sword Coast. It's a coastal city. It's never winter there. It's always warm. And so I had to come up with a way to help them engage with the city in Neverwinter. So I was able to come up with something thanks to a YouTuber. His name's Bob's World Building, I believe is the name of his YouTube channel, Bob's World Builder. But he had an online PDF that I downloaded. It was pretty good. Like, it had a lot of good encounters, but it wasn't super robust. It required a lot of improvising, which was fine because I figured it out. We were able to get through it. We had a lot of fun. They joined the Mercenaries Guild of the city, so now they were hired by the captain of the guild to protect the city. And before that, to be able to join, they had to go through some training and show their worthiness. And then they completed that training just barely. And before they retired for the night, they went to go see a theater show. And this is something really cool that the PDF had, is like a Phantom of the Opera. So there's a ghost that appears during the show. So they had to do that. And then the next day they got some rest. The next day they took on their first mission for the Mercenaries Guild. They separated. They went in pairs to do 2 missions in one day. One mission failed, one mission succeeded. And that's where we left off. So that is our campaign. We do that every Thursday. There are 2 other campaigns. One is kind of like a homebrew 5e module, I believe. I'm not in there, so I don't know exactly what's going on. The other one is Dungeons of Drakkenheim, which was a Kickstarter. You could look up that Kickstarter and kind of get a feel for what that campaign looks like and what it feels like. Um, and then tonight, so that's Thursdays. Tonight we have Magic. We do Magic every Wednesday, Friday. Magic, we do Friday Night Magic. We do a draft. Wednesdays, we do a cool thing, choose your own format. So we have some different formats you can come in and play. If you find a player that wants to play one of those formats, you can all create a group and do a draft. Like, for example, you could do a 4-pod draft, 4-person draft, or you can join and play a group in Commander, and we reward prizes based on different formats. So the winner of the draft would receive a pack of cards. I think we also have standard, so whoever wins that would receive a pack of cards. I think the draft we do maybe 2 packs. I can't remember. I'd have to look at our pricing. So that's Fridays, and then tonight we have create your own character for D&D. So you can come in if you've never played before. This is a perfect time to kind of learn what D&D is all about, and also create a character. So this is really great for maybe you're joining a group that plays D&D and you need a character for that group. We have one person signed up for sure tomorrow or tonight that she mentioned she has a group that she's going to join on Tuesdays. They're going to start one at her work, and really cool that she can come in, create a character, be ready to go, learn a little bit about how to play and how the game works, and then go join on Friday on next week. So a perfect opportunity for that. Or if you are someone who wants to join on one of our campaigns, it's good to come in and create a character and have one ready to go. Obviously, we can work with you on Thursdays to create a character, but it's more of your own doing, and you are going through the process of creating the character, and we're kind of there to answer questions and help you a little bit, because usually we're running campaigns, so we can't promise that we'll be there to be able to help support you 100%. But on Friday, and we have another one next Saturday to create your own character, we do that. You can come in and we will work with you, make sure every step of the way you create your character with you, and make sure you get all your questions answered. And if there's time, which there should be because it's a 2-hour thing, we'll do a little combat or a little bit role playing to get a feel for the game. So that's D&D. D&D is really big right now. Stranger Things is to blame, which is awesome. It's really cool to see a lot of younger players come in and interested in playing, and really cool that we have our D&D camp next week. So super excited. We have a group of three boys for our 9 to 11 age group. We are still kind of taking the older age group, but I think we might close it, since if we do an older group, we'll need staff to run that campaign. So it's kind of last minute. So today might be the last chance to sign up, and we need at least 3 players, and that's ages 12 to 14. So we have 1 spot for 9 to 11, and we have 4 spots for 12 to 14. So that's our first D&D camp next week. So I'm excited, really excited. We have a couple return campers that were in our board game camp. So it's cool. It'll be cool to see them again, and we'll play D&D a little bit more storytelling, creative. We can do a lot more than the board games where it's very structured. So I'm excited to see where our campaign goes next week. So that's D&D. Pokemon, we do Sundays. So if you are in the area, come join us on Sundays. We do a couple different things on Sundays. We have class, and then we do a meetup. And for our meetup, Nishan, he is at Giving Elephants on TikTok and Instagram. Give him a follow. He does a lot of Pokemon giveaways, a lot of other giveaways, a lot of fun Pokemon content. And he comes and hosts the meetup on Sundays, and that's from 1:30 to 4. And then we also do a class. So the class is usually like a beginner class from 12 to 1. You sit down with a friend. So the beginner class, you sign up in pairs and you play with another. It could be you and your kid, or it can be 2 friends that come down to play. But you need to sign up in pairs because you're going to be learning how to play with someone else. And I'm the one that leads that class. We also do Pokemon Collecting 101. We added that class. We have one of those this month as well. So that's all about collecting cards, what to look for when you collect cards, how to figure out what card you have and make sure it's from the right set, the value of the card, talking about why value goes up and down for cards, um, talking about how to collect, like how to keep them protected and safe, and talking about like why you might collect. So not maybe you collect because you really want to complete a set, or maybe you collect because you really like the art. So how those things kind of influence your decisions for how you collect too. So that's another thing we do this next month for Pokemon. I think that's it. Oh, board games. We do board game. Oh, we have a couple other fun events this month. Tomorrow's Discord discount day. So if you are in our Discord, you get $5 off a purchase of 20 or more. So I'm super excited for that. We're getting our Discord channel going. So if you want to join our Discord, I don't have a link yet. So you might have to send me a message. I'll get you a link to join. Um, Discord day. We have a tabletop day again, tabletop RPG day. That is August 27th. So we have a couple sessions planned. Again, create your own character, learn to DM. So you are someone who always wanted to get a group together to play D&D and you want to be the DM. This is a good session for you. And then we'll schedule some other tabletop RPG sessions. I might run Mothership. I have to get in contact with the publisher, Tuesday Night Games, because we order a lot of Mothership like modules and stuff from them. I think it's probably our largest, our most popular indie RPG. Granted, we don't have a lot of indie RPGs. We maybe have like about a dozen, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, that one sells. We've had to reorder the player's handbook a couple times and a few of the modules, so we might get some more of that in for that Saturday, the 27th. So yeah, that's the updates in the store. And then I always like to talk about some games I've been playing. If you're watching on TikTok, share with me any tabletop games or even video games you've been playing, any games at all. And if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, I can't tell where you're watching from. I see a couple people tuning in. You can share with me what games you've been playing recently or a game you want to get to the table. I'll talk about a couple I want to get to the table, but first, some games I've been playing. A lot of video games. I play Warzone about twice a week, which is really nice to have a little bit of decompressing time away from tabletop games, but also still get some in. I still love to play tabletop games as much as possible, but it's hard to play for me these days. A lot of the tabletop gaming I'm playing is for like the store, to learn the game, learn the experience, learn how it would sell, think about how to describe it to customers. But I do every once in a while I get to sit down and play some tabletop games for me. I know one that I want to sit down and play is Arc Nova. We got some of the copies of that in recently. But again, it's like one that like we have some copies, but I really can't open it because I know we will sell those copies. Maybe if one sits there for a couple months, I'll decide to finally open it and put it in our lending library and play it. I don't think it'll make it that far though. So that's one I want to play. Ankh is one that I've played recently. Like when I say recently, like 2-3 months ago, I want to play again. I've been wanting to play that one a few more times. We had a group of friends that played Scythe for the first time, and I shared that story I think a couple lives ago that they weren't super excited with the game as they were playing it because it is a really tough game to get into for the first time, and really the first time you're playing it, you're not really playing the game, you're learning the game. So I can see why it can be a little frustrating. I know my first game I messed up very early on and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can win. So I was just playing just to figure the game out at that point. And it was pretty early when I realized it's like, or maybe I thought that was the case. Maybe I could have came back, but I don't know. But Scythe, yeah, I'd love to play Scythe again. We have a couple awesome donations from a community member. I don't want to share his name because I don't know if that would be fair to say. But he came in and brought Mansions of Madness, Pathfinder, the card game, Smash Up, King of Tokyo, and Cranium to our lending library. So we got some new additions there. I'd love to be able to play Mansions of Madness now. I've never played it. We have it in our store, but never played it. I played Betrayal. All right. So those are some games I've been playing and some games I'd like to play. I do a bit of Magic with the app, and I did my first ever in-person draft 2 Fridays ago, which I've never done before. Might sound surprising as a game store owner. Um, I play Pokemon on Sundays usually with someone who needs someone to play with. I'll usually sit down and play Pokemon too. But those are some games I've been playing. If you want to share, if you're on TikTok, feel free to share a game you've played recently. And then we're gonna award our Princess Lily Princess Lily P. Flower Gaming Grant. I'm gonna pull that up here. I realized I didn't prep the winner, so I'm gonna grab that here. I have the grant recipient. So this grant is really awesome. I'm gonna share maybe on the screen here for um, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you're watching on TikTok, I'm just gonna kind of share with you what the screen says, but I'm kind of pretty much just reading what it says. So you're not missing much. But if you do want to join on one of the other platforms, feel free, and you can kind of look at what I'm sharing on screen. But I'm on my website now. This is just our main website. I need to add this gaming grant to to a link at the top. There it is, Princess Lily P. Flower Gaming Grant. But if you search Princess Lily or Princess Grant, you'll find it on our website. It's for local community members, so you do have to be local to our store. Um, and it's always in our newsletter. It's also on a QR code that a lot of people have from our store that has all of our links. Um, Again, I will add a little link that it makes it easier to find. Maybe our About Us section. I might retitle that to learn more or something. Um, but it's awarded to it's made possible by an anonymous member of our community, and so thanks to that generous member, recipients will receive up to $50 to spend at our store for their gaming needs. Yes, I did say gaming needs because, like myself and the donor, both believe that games create awesome experiences, lasting relationships, and are all things we need. I think those are really important to our day-to-day lives. It's really important to engage with fellow gamers through relationships and even non-gamers, like bringing some new people into the gaming hobby. So you can apply by going to our application form. I'm going to pull up the winner here. My computer, my laptop still goes a little slow with me. And you can apply to this. So this is our second winner for the month of July. So we are behind a little bit because we took our week-long break. So we will award 2 more members in August. So this is our second award for the month of July, and I'm just waiting to get it pulled up. It's taking a minute. I'm just logged into my email, and then I have to go over to my Google Drive. But while you're waiting for me to get this pulled up, I'd love to hear any games you've been playing recently, or what gaming plans do you have this weekend? Anything like that? Games. Hey, Lee, Derek, thank you for joining. We got someone else here watching too. I don't know how to pronounce your username, A Toast Games. Hopefully I got that close to right. Thanks for joining too. All right, we got the Google form, Google Drive's open. Oh, Google Drive's going a little slow too on my laptop. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. So if you are local to LA, feel free to apply or to our store. LA is a big place. So if you're local to our store, feel free to apply to our gaming grant. All right, we got our winner is Nathan Gorman. So Nathan, is also a community member of Maiden Community, which is a small business support community. They do a lot of help supporting small businesses in the area too. So I'm excited to have Nathan receive our gaming grant. And Nathan says it means to have fun and meet new people with your passions and also enjoy the time playing against someone. And Nathan enjoys playing board games, card games. Favorite game is Yu-Gi-Oh! Awesome. So we do have a little Yu-Gi-Oh! And if he won the money, he would use the money to possibly try some new games. Awesome. Well, congratulations, Nathan. I will be sending you an email in just a few moments, maybe right after the stream. I'm going to get the email ready so I know I don't forget, just in case you're not tuning in this week. All right. So now I want to share with all of you some YouTube videos I've been watching about GenCon. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're not at GenCon, unfortunately, like myself. Again, GenCon is a huge board game convention. Maybe the biggest in the US. I can't remember if it's Origins or Gen Con's bigger. I always forget. But one of my favorite videos so far was from a good friend of mine too, Tabletop Polson. So I'm going to share the screen now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. She does a lot of games for learning on her channel too. But she had a Gen Con preview. So you can see I just typed in some Gen Con 2022. These are just some videos you can watch. So this is first look. This looks like a lot of these now are recent. They're within the last like day or so. So these are content creators at Gen Con right now uploading their videos. So that's cool. But these are what I watched earlier this week. 10 most anticipated games. So Tantrum House had one. Looks like Quackalope Jesse did 10 games that will sell out at Gen Con 2022. Dice Tower did a whole 2-hour and 20-minute stream, and I think they went through like every game that they expect to be at Gen Con. I also watched Rodho's Gen Con preview and Man vs. Meeple, and Tabletop Tolson was another one. I don't know. There she is. Tabletop Tolson. So I recommend checking out those videos if you are curious. These are, I don't know, maybe start with one of the preview videos and then go into some of the videos of content creators there during the week. One game that kept popping up everywhere, and I played this game. I enjoyed it to an extent. I'm not a big polyominoes player. Like, I don't like Tetris-y style games very much, but I know a lot of people do love it. And this game kept showing up everywhere about Gen Con. It was one that a lot of people kept talking about, is Planet Unknown. So it's cool because it does have like this Lazy Susan. Whose video do we want to watch? We want to watch let's see. I like to maybe click on one of a video. Ooh, Hungry Gamer. Yeah, I know Hungry Gamer. I was on his podcast recently. Hopefully that'll be coming out pretty soon. But I don't know. I don't want to like play over the sound, so we're gonna mute it here. You can check out his video in just a moment. I want to show the Lazy Susan. Oh, there we go. So you can see it uses a Lazy Susan, and the board, I guess, I don't know if that's a board, a component rotates, and it tells you what piece you can grab. So depending on what piece is in front of you, you have to take this one and the next one, and then you can place it on the board. And of course, certain pieces, if you put them down a particular way, I can't remember exactly how you get your meters to go up this way, but based on how you place the pieces, your meters go up, and these award you bonuses. And then you get points at the end based on, I believe, these rows. I can't remember exactly or the coins. I think the coins are points. You'll have to watch Hungry Gamers review to learn how to play. But that was like super popular. Every single video I watched talked about this game, and it was like number one on a couple of videos, and that's Planet Unknown. But yeah, I'll be curious to see. I know I was watching these videos because I have to make sure we have these games in stock in case people are looking for them after Gen Con. There were some that were already out of stock. Like I went to look and they weren't there, or well, I guess there was one. But then there were some that were just pre-orders. What was the one that was out of stock? Cascadia is one that, not because of Gen Con, but won the Spiel des Jahres. That was one that I looked at that's now out of stock, and we just sold our last copy. There was one that Shut Up and Sit Down talked about like hidden gems of 2022. So I don't think that was Gen Con related, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see which games really become popular out of Gen Con, which ones are really talked about and everyone wants to pick up after Gen Con, or even during Gen Con, I suppose. But that's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching on TikTok. Thanks for joining, and YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Thank you for joining. We'll be back next week. No, we won't be back next week. We will not be back next week. Next week we have our Dungeons and Dragons camp. So usually every Friday we stream, but last week we had our board game camp. Next week we have our D&D camp. So we will not be live next Friday. Maybe we'll go live on TikTok at some point during the week, but not on Friday. All right, so thank you for tuning in, and we will